The summer of 2023 was yet another memorable one for the sport of swimming on the Isle of Man. Following a record-breaking Commonwealth Games in Birmingham 12 months previously, July saw a 15-strong Manx team secure a significant medal haul during the 2023 Island Games in Guernsey, while some members of the team also managed to smash personal bests in their disciplines. But that wasn't the only significant event for Island competitors in swimming. The trio of Conor Meelan, Ella Justice and Magnus Kelly flew the Manx flag at this year's Commonwealth Youth Games in Trinidad and Tobago in early August. So, following 2 more years where Manx swimmers have made local headlines, what's this meant for others looking to potentially make their name in the sport for the future, and how popular is it proving to be? To find out, I recently caught up with Lee Holland, the Isle of Man swimming coach who's overseen the island's campaigns in Birmingham and Trinidad and Tobago, and is continuing to help prepare the next crop of talent for the years to come.
Do you know, Rob, the numbers coming through at the moment in Isle of Man swimming are about as healthy as we've seen them. We've done a lot of work on administrative, on systems in terms of getting the right pathways for the youngsters coming through. And we're actually taking in more swimmers now. There's more people coming to us saying, I want to be a swimmer. I want to swim at Isle of Man Swimming Club in all the time I've been here. So, you know, it really shows that the results that they were putting out over the summer has caught people's eye, you know, and made people realise, yeah, I fancy a bit of that. You know, the successes that come with it, they really are coming to us now, rather than us having to chase them down as has been in previous years.
Just on the back of what you said there, the fact that you're seeing at the moment that there are more people wanting to come forward and get involved, what do you think are the main reasons behind that more people are showing a bit more of an interest at the moment?
I think so, yeah. I think when we go to Island Games, Commonwealth Youth Games, National Championships, and these results get put out there in the press and by people like yourselves, you know, it just raises the profile of the sport. And we're very lucky. We've got some fantastic role models at the top end, but we're also getting real high-end performers right the way down to the age group level, the 11s and 12s. And that is, you know, word gets around that actually this is a sport which is doing good things and producing quality athletes. And I think that's a big part of it. You know, the hearsay is, and the word on the street, if you will, is spreading now because they just keep putting these records out and performances and stuff. So yeah, I'd put it down to the fact that our performers keep doing what they're doing and more people are taking notice.
And what would you say in terms of, for those who are trying to develop, whether just to swim socially or competitively, the facilities on the Isle of Man? We've got facilities in the north, south, east and west.
Yeah, I think the facilities and the guys running them are fantastic. I think the opportunity, I mean, swimming is a different animal in sporting terms, as it's a life skill. You know, we're on an island where you can drive 5 minutes and be at the sea in any direction. Really, it's a real important part of a young person's growing up. But I do think that the lesson programs and the links between the lessons to the clubs, the regional clubs, and then the regional clubs to us at Isle of Man Swimming Club, we're now starting to really see those links bear fruit. But I couldn't be any more grateful to the pools and the guys that are running them.
Just also as well, recently there's been a few Isle of Man swimmers who've secured some really good opportunities across. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, off the back of the results from last year, after obviously Island Games, National Championships and the Commonwealth Youth Games, we've ended up with 6 Isle of Man athletes selected onto development programmes. So we've got Ed Pearson, who's been selected onto the Lancashire development programme. That's for the 11 and 12-year-olds. Jamie Farnan has been selected onto the Northwest programme. That's for 13 to 14-year-olds. And we've got Lauren Dennett, Joel Watterson, Laura Kinley and Peter Allen been selected onto the National Development Programme for the older youth and senior athletes. And that's where they get together with the top talent in their age group in the region or nationally, and really, you know, get to see what everybody else is doing around the country. You know, it's a real good opportunity, and it's a nice nod to what we've never had 6 athletes on programs in as long as I've been here. I don't think we've ever had that many on representative programs like this. So yeah, it's certainly a nod to what my coaching staff and the club as a whole are putting out, but we're certainly not planning on stopping anytime soon. Next year we want 10.
And again, just building off what you said there, the fact that these opportunities are available to swimmers of a variety of different ages as well, how important is it for those who want to pursue it as a competitive sport, have these different pathways into these different schools, if you like, or also the events in general?
Yeah, there's opportunities for every level of athlete. For those guys that we take teams away that are only, might be the first trip away to go and swim at a Ponds Forge in a 50-metre pool or a Leeds or a Liverpool, somewhere like that, right the way through to guys that are going away to swim at national level. April's going to be the Olympic trials in London. We'll have a couple of athletes there. Hopefully more than that. We've got 2 qualified already. Hopefully maybe 3 or 4 might get the time cut. But there really is opportunity right the way up the tree of development, really, from first time in a 50-metre pool and first time going away, right through to guys that maybe got an outside chance on making representative teams.
And also the fact that a lot of the Isle of Man swimmers competitively, they have other commitments around their lives. It's not a full-time commitment for some of them. They may have jobs or studies at university, college, etc. And the fact that they're able to dedicate this amount of time and passion into the sport, when they come up against athletes in the Commonwealth Games, for example, that may be full-time in that field, they're competing against them, they've earned that place. That must give a certain level of satisfaction for you as a coach as well.
It really does. It really does. I mean, the commitment that we put in, the guys that are swimming in national centres and are full-time athletes, they're not getting up at 5 a.m. or 4:30 to get to the pool for 5 or 5:30, whatever it is. They're getting up at 8, 9 o'clock. They've got a really nice end of the deal. Whereas these guys that's getting up to swim at 5, train for a couple of hours, and then go on to work, do a full day at work, and come back to training. It's more than just, I've got to go swimming. It's because they want to. It's because they love it, and realistically, it's because of the ethos and the family that we've built around the Isle of Man swimming as a whole that keeps these guys coming back.
Looking towards the future, in the immediate term for the Isle of Man swimmers, what are the main sort of events and objectives coming up in the next couple of weeks and months?
Next week we've got the Northwest Winter Championships. That's a bit of a novelty. It's a short. Manchester Aquatic Centre has the ability to turn the 50-metre pool into a 25-metre pool, but it's not very often it happens. So that's quite a novel event in terms of they'll be able to swim in Manchester, which is a great facility, but in a 25-metre length rather than a 50-metre length. That's a qualifier for the Winter Nationals in Sheffield in December, where we've got 3 athletes qualified and hopefully another couple hoping to do so. But actually in December, we're shipping, we reckon, somewhere in the region of 60 to 70 kids off for that weekend. That some are going to the Winter National Championships, some are going to an open meet in Northampton, and others are going to a meet in Leeds. So we're kind of splitting the club 3 ways and giving everyone from first-time aways to guys trying to win national titles, supplying everybody with an opportunity to go ahead and race before Christmas off island. So yeah, that's it's exciting, but it's also it's been stressful in terms of the logistics, and the guys I've got helping me are just fantastic. I couldn't do it without them.
And just one final question looking forward, whether it's in the next 12 months or even beyond that, for you as a coach and part of the, let's call it the hierarchy around Isle of Man swimming, what would you like to see the sport grow as over the next year? How does it evolve?
I think we work in 4-year cycles. We work towards Commonwealth Games, because Commonwealth Games is our top of the tree that we can represent the flag as the Isle of Man. Obviously, we've got Olympic trials this year, which is always a big deal, to be able to go and compete there. But I think really it's a little bit difficult because we don't know what's happening with the next Commonwealth Games. There's the uncertainty around who's going to host it. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen in the year it's supposed to be? Is it going to be 2026, or are they going to postpone? That's putting a little bit of uncertainty around the plans over the next 4 years. So what we're having to find other ways of nailing down what we're aiming for. So we're actually looking at travelling away to international competitions to keep that extra level of performance going, whilst we don't necessarily know what's happening with the Commonwealth venue. But as a whole, Isle of Man swimming is growing fast as just about as fast as I can keep up with it. The youngsters are telling their friends, and we're getting more and more fresh faces coming in. The guys that are competing at Lancashire level, Northwest level, are pushing on to say, you know what, I'm going to go to British Champs this year. I want to go to the Nationals in the summer. And if they're already there, then I want to go and win it or take medals away. You know, everybody's got a target, everybody's got a standard, and everybody is trying to make that next step up. And that's really refreshing. It's exciting. And for me as the coach and sort of steering this, it doesn't take much work when the kids are as driven and as excited about the sport as they are. And that's a lovely place to be in.
Thank you for having the stamina to make it to the end of the Manx Radio Sportscast. You're clearly someone who has their eye on the ball at all times. Want to hear more about the latest sporting news across the Isle of Man and much more? Then might I recommend you take the plunge and subscribe to this series or a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so that, in a flash, all of our finest moments take a winner's place on your smartphone. Thank you.